because I don't need y'all stressed. Let's talk about this worst criminal of all time. I think we've warmed up pretty nicely. Uh and this is crazy. This is I can't believe this isn't a cartoon. This is just the headline. You know what? I started doing this thing where I don't read the headline. I'm just gonna let the story unravel because the headline really does give away everything. It's like a trailer. All right, so picture this. You are working at a bank in Missouri. Okay. A man walks in and he basically makes the demand that he is robbing the bank, but he slips you a note saying, "Give me all the money. This is a robbery," on a paper that got some weight to it. It seems like this is some really official parchment that you're giving your demands on. You flip it over. It's his birth certificate. Okay, and it's not the whole story. That's just step one. Demand note. He wrote it on the back of his own birth certificate. And he was also wearing an ankle monitor related to an earlier offense. So, again, not the end of the story, but I just want to recap. Someone comes in, they're like, "Hey, you better STFU," slips you a demand note saying, "Give me the money or I'm going to blow your brains out." You flip it over. It's his birth certificate. That's number one. Then you look him up and down. On his ankle is an ankle monitor from a crime, a different crime that he's on punishment for. Let's call it punishment. Moving on. Then he stole $754 from the local Bank of America branch after giving a bank teller the note written on the back of his birth certificate. It said, give your money now. Don't say anything. I have a partner outside." I have a partner outside. As he drove away from the bank, Lloyd saw police cars responding to the robbery, causing him to become so scared, he threw the money out of the truck along with his birth certificate and ID. I mean, it's so much. It's so much to process. He wrote the demand note on the back of his birth certificate. First of all, who just has their birth certificate on them like that? Second of all, who's just jotting stuff down on it? That's a very important document, sir. You use that in the robbery? I wonder what part of the birth certificate, like, was his name on the back, or was it just a little corner? Let's just say it was the whole certificate. Let's just say he wrote, "Give me your money now." I don't even think the "me" was in there. "Give your money now. Don't say anything. I have a partner outside." Okay. Also wearing an ankle monitor that knows where he's at. Gets the money. It's less than $1,000. Okay. 754. People would probably be so disappointed if they knew how much physical cash was in your local bank. Because you just think that every bank is like the supervillain banks from the movies, and they all have a giant vault that goes, and then there's a dude in there that's just been in there, and he's like, "Access," and you do it again, and it goes, and then there's just bags and bags of money, burlap sacks with a dollar sign on it. He's got $754 out of Bank of America. Okay. And then not only that, when the cops came, which he knew was a possibility, okay, he got cold feet and not only threw the money out, he threw the birth certificate out. And if that wasn't enough, he also just, for good measure, throw the ID out. So not only do you have evidence from my ankle monitor that I was here, You have my birth certificate on camera from the bank teller. And just to make the cop's life more easy, you got the money in a pile on the side of the street next to an ID with an address and a birth certificate. Also, the birth certificate says, "Give me your money now. Don't say anything. I have a partner outside," on the back of it. You threw 700. Even in my mind, it was more money. Like it was a bank robbery. He was throwing duffel bags out. $754. That's what he threw out, by the way. So it was probably in like a little manila pouch, and he probably just left his ID in there. It's just like, it's so dumb. You could probably get off for insanity. Cause it's just like, what was going on that day, man? You missed so many steps along the way. Like, how do you start failing from step one? Step one is use a regular piece of paper for your demand note, not an official document that has all your information. Your birth certificate, sir. That's probably the bank teller's best story. She probably has a story. Boy, she had a time. That was probably so entertaining because he never said he had a gun. He never pistol whipped nobody. He never was violent. So that's probably a great story for her.